Plaintiff George Valdez married the defendant after he got her pregnant. But after they divorced, he took custody of all of their children because the defendant was caught using meth. George is suing his ex-wife for an overpayment of child support. Defendant Michelle Valdez says George cheated on her, and after 15 years and 5 children, he confessed that he was never going to stop cheating on her, so they got a divorce. Michelle insists she was unaware of an overpayment of child support.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor, this is my ex-wife, and we were married in a shotgun wedding in '97.
You got her pregnant?
I did, yeah. But we were young. I was trying to do the right thing.
How old were you all?
I think I was about 19.
You say shotgun, that presumes that the father
was
strong arms you. Or
It was the mother.
tell me how that went. I just want to hear that story, and I might give you my story. I don't think I can. Tell me what happened in your situation.
Well, she was really religious, so she's like, you got her pregnant, so you guys need to be married.
Or you going to hell, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You're going to
Okay.
hell.
I just
Exactly.
Your
wondering.
Honor, that's not true. We got married. We decided to get married. We stayed married for 15 years. And we were
All right,
in love
but no,
at that
he's
point.
saying he was a shotgun marriage. He said that he had to get married or else.
That's not true.
All right,
It's true.
because you were pregnant with the child, and that,
I
you know,
was
some
pregnant.
parents are like that.
But it was
Or at least they encourage it strongly. Folks say, well, I'm going to propose, or it's going to be a year from now. Why a year? I just want to get myself together. You not together? Well, yeah, I got everything together. So why a year? Well, I just figured I'd give it a little time. A little time for what? Been together a couple years. Now they're expecting. Well, what do you think? You think 2, 3 months or 6 months from now? Is that all right? What do you think? No. So what do you think it should be? Next week? That's how some fathers do. Go ahead,
That's pretty
sir.
much how it was.
Is that what you were told too?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Yeah,
Your
it was
Honor,
right away.
he was in the military at the time.
They married in the military.
Right, but he wanted to be there when our son was born, and he chose to marry me so that he would be able to be there for sure.
Okay, you stick with that. All right. That makes you feel better.
I'm a stick with being forced.
And how did things go with the marriage?
Okay, well, she dabbled in drugs. I knew what she.
What type of drugs?
Mostly meth.
Oh.
Your Honor, we did meth together.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna
a
say.
few times.
I was gonna say. Your
Well,
Honor.
you wasn't going to say.
Your Honor.
You were finished with that statement.
Your Honor. I know this is gonna
Leaving
sound crazy.
yourself
but,
out. What?
This is gonna sound crazy, but how I got started on it, because I never did it before. She and her friend were putting it in my water, and by the end of the
That's
night
not
I was
true.
hooked. Yes, it is.
That's not true.
You know it's true.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. No, but that's why I said, Your Honor, that's gonna sound crazy. But that's how I remember it. But I mean, I did continue to do it till 2010.
Continue to drink it.
No. No, I continued to use it.
Okay.
Yeah, not drink it. No, I continued to use it. But in 2010, I was done. So
Been
and
clean
she
ever
said that
since?
She was gonna be done.
Was she?
No, she wasn't. So
When do you believe she stopped?
I don't know now. I'm just saying.
Okay.
In
All right,
our
why'd you all
marriage.
divorce?
We divorced in 2012.
Why?
Because I was done living with a drug addict.
That's not true.
You off drugs at that time?
Oh yeah, in 2010 I was done. I was
Okay.
done.
And
Your Honor,
14, you all right? Let me hear from you, ma'am.
We got divorced because he was cheating on me, and after 15 years and 5 children, he told me that he was never going to stop cheating on me and didn't want to continue making me unhappy in that way. We had smoked meth early.
How'd you feel about that?
Devastated.
Would you have preferred to stay
I
married?
asked if we could go
Work
through
it?
marriage counseling, if there was something that we could do, and he just basically said no. No, I'm never. There was nothing.
How old were your children? The range of ages.
I had
at that
twins
time?
that were 6 months old. I had a 4-year-old My oldest son was 16 or 17, and my daughter, she was about 7 at the time.
Wow. I'm sure he stays in their life. He was monthly or at
so
least
for the
every
first
few weeks,
year,
couple weeks.
For the first year, there was no kind of parenting plan. We hadn't gone to court yet, and so it was often he would see them once in a while. After the first year, he started paying child support. We got a parenting plan, and then it was every other weekend.
Okay.
My family helped me quite a bit because, like I said, for the first year, I wasn't getting any financial support whatsoever. They started paying my rent for me.
What about childcare?
Childcare, I had moved out to the coast, and there's in Oregon where there's great programs there that helped with preschool, even though they were younger. And so I was doing a bunch of programs with the kids. It was I had to quit my job because I was basically just taking kids back and forth to get them in their schooling and everything like that. And then, like I said, every other weekend I would drive out and meet him with the children, and he'd have them for every other weekend.
You would drive, you all would meet somewhere in the middle?
We'd meet halfway in between. And so...
All right. Well, I'm not going to pass judgment on whether you should or shouldn't have left, but that's pretty challenging for a woman to to raise 4 children under 10 by herself. So,
but I was not on meth. I did smoke marijuana, and up until last year when this whole incident happened, which was a big wake-up call for me, I was smoking THC oil, and I believe that was laced with meth. So I went to the hospital, and they found meth in my system, and they said I had a meth-induced psychiatric break.
That's funny because when we were in court, you said that.
let's get to the lawsuit. Somebody dropped it in hers, and somebody dropped it, and you drank it. All right. That's why everybody got it dropped in their stuff.
Yeah.
Please move on. And you know,
Okay.
I've seen this and heard this 1,000 times. $878 for child support. How does she owe you for that?
Okay, well, I was applying for a home loan, and well, I got to tell you that she was hospitalized for the meth. DHS called me up and they said the kids are in our custody right now because your ex is in the hospital for she has meth in her system.
That's not true. The kids were never in DHS custody. They were at my
Yes, they
grandparents'.
Go ahead.
Okay, and then they said you need to file for emergency custody because they're not going back to her. They're not going back to her, so you need to file for emergency custody. So I did. I filed for emergency custody, and me and my girlfriend, we even filed for to be foster parents for her. She has 2 other kids by some other guy from a previous relationship. So, you know, we took them in because we didn't want to see them, you know, get put in the system. So they live with us
7
right now.
children you're raising by yourself.
That's true.
8.
8?
Yeah, but I had the last 3 are from my previous husband, but
Okay.
he's no longer around.
All right. Go ahead.
And
You took the children.
yeah, once we got certified, I also had the child support modified so that it wasn't taken from my wages anymore.
Because you had the
because
children.
I have them full time. So I did that, and everything was all good. But then I went to apply for a home loan, and my lender, he told me that it shows here that you have $7,000 in back child support. So it just kept accruing for some reason. That's just how the child support system works in Oregon, I guess.
And your modification was that you owed 0 at that time?
Exactly.
Do you have anything today to
I do.
demonstrate that? Ma'am, let me hear from you.
So
Said he wants a refund on the overpayment of $878 that they took.
So we were still going to court for custody for the other kids, trying to work that out. We both still have joint custody. We changed our parenting plan recently, and it's more 50-50, but he still ends up having to pay me $178 a month for child support.
When did that start?
That just started in April.
Okay. And sir, when were you due the refund?
Well, what I did is I had her go into the child support, and she signed a satisfaction letter to get rid of
When?
that $7,000. It was in April. It was the beginning of April.
Okay, and
April 2nd.
everything was zero at that point.
Yeah, everything except when she went in there and signed it, it was April 2nd. If she would have signed it on the 30th, it would have been zero, but
30th of
it
March.
accrued, yeah, it accrued another.
April 2nd, so you were paying $878 a month or
$878 a month.
78 a month. The termination that you all signed together occurred 2 days after.
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that's why they took it.
Yeah, that's why.
right.
And my lender, he was saying there's still, the $7,000 is gone. It's down. It's gone off your credit report, but there's still $878 on there.
Okay.
He said pay it out of pocket, so I paid it out of pocket.
Man, what did he say to that? He says you
So,
all made a.
We did. I was trying to
termination
help
agreement.
him. He was trying to get his.
Pardon me?
I was trying to help him out, get his home loan, and get everything approved because it was taking a long time to go to the court for it to get to. Because it was still showing that he owed me that $7,000. So I waived that $7,000. No, so the $878, I hadn't looked at my child support card. That's how much I had gotten for child support the whole time I was getting paid. I figured that was still on there because when I stopped having the kids in my care.
8 months?
I-
You didn't know there was $878 in there?
I didn't have the card. I didn't even order
For
the card.
7 months, you didn't know you
haven't-
had $878,
I-
and you got 8 kids.
Yeah.
I don't believe you, man. I believe you knew what every dime was at all times.
Always.
With 8 children, ma'am. 878 is your judgment. Her only defense is she didn't know she had it in the bank. Have a good day.
So, I mean, if he had let me know that that money was there and going to be there, I wouldn't have spent it and we wouldn't be here today.
That's the
That
only
easy.
reason I never said anything about it, because I knew you would.